Right, let's go ahead and get started. We're going to have some fun with controls today, with the image view control specifically, and we're going to do the mouse rollover type of assignment. Essentially, you have an image and you hover over it with your mouse, and the image changes. And we're going to add to it. We're going to have some fun. So let's get into that and begin our first project. Make sure that we do this properly beginning, because it can be temperamental. I've ruined a few projects when I create them. I'm going to call this game piece test, because we're going to actually create a game piece object from the image view object by inheriting from it. We do not want to create a main class. And then I'm going to hit finish here. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go into properties, and we need to make sure this one, compile on save, that's a big one. Make sure that one's checked. We go to build libraries, we go to our class path, add libraries, the JavaFX that we added, and then we go to the run module path, add library JavaFX. Okay, and then I got code bits. I got code bits that you're going to use for your module path. We're going to be using graphics today, but the code bits are in an RTF file that you can get, and we're going to grab that bit right there. We could add graphics to that, but I don't think we're going to use them. But why not? Just throw it in there and see what happens. Okay. Now, let's hit OK. And we're going to go ahead and add a JavaFX main class. And we're going to call this gpiece test. Okay, we want just this to work before we move on anywhere else. That means that we have our project working and we're ready to start playing with it. Woohoo! Now, let's have some fun. We're going to hack and slash, but the thing is that we're going to initially do is let's get rid of this button, and we're going to come back to yeah, we'll come back to that. Well, actually, I got code bits. We're going to redo the whole start method. So we can actually just get rid of the whole thing. And we'll come back to it. Okay, so first thing we need to do is, for our game piece, what we're going to end up implementing is we're going to inherit from the image view class. So I'm going to go ahead and add a new class here. A new Java class, and I'm going to call it gpiece for game piece. Okay, I'm going to hit finished. Immediately, I want to go ahead and just do my export, and then I'll refactor it. Export, let's just do gpiece underscore test. Just something simple for now. Oh wait, package. I'm writing, I don't even know what code that is. Package gpiece test. And then let's move it to the correct folder. And inside of gpiece test, we'll have our Java file, our gpiece object. Now, I'm going to roll in on this. Here's the main thing that we're going to be working on today is the gpiece object. And we want to just get an image showing to the screen. And then from there, we will continue on with playing with it, or not an object, an image showing on the screen. So let's go ahead and look at our code bits. Don't get greedy and throw it all at once. Okay, I'm going to get greedy. I'm going to throw it all in at once, because this particular one is simple. We just want to get a game piece or something on the screen. So let's go ahead and throw it in here, and let's look at what I've done here. And it looks like we got some includes that we need to have. So let's go ahead and put those guys in there from here, make sure they go up above your package declaration. Oh wait, no, they go below. And now here's one of the things about this that really kind of ticks me off with image views, with the image view, is you cannot do this. You cannot take an image view and create it, and then you can't do this. Even though the function's in there, you can't do .set image and send it like fimage, which is an image that I've created up here. That's the way I would like to do things. That's the way they should be done, because it wouldn't be a problem with memory, but this code will actually not run. And that's because I'm not going to use bad words. Just like with some of the super high level languages like JavaScript or whatnot, they've really gone into protecting images copyrights. So a lot of these things won't allow you to directly manipulate the image while you after you've loaded it. And evidently, when we give them the ability to set the image in image view, there's a problem. So yeah, that's all for copyright crap, I think. There is a way around it. You could draw, and I've done it in JavaScript. I create a ghost canvas and draw the image to the canvas, and then do a bit, get the canvas in just the bytes that represents the image itself in BMP format, and then manipulate it. But that's fine. We don't need to actually manipulate any images in this code, so we're just going to go ahead and use this line. And this is improper code, and the reason being is because I am not checking to see if that I'm not using a try or catch, checking to see if that file exists. So we are probably going to crash this program until we find the place where we got to actually put our images, and that will be in the working directory of where this runtime is actually working inside of. So we'll put those images in, and we'll probably so I'm not going to add the try catch or whatever that you need to. You guys can do that. I want to make things as simple and easy to understand as possible without adding in all the bloat. So just this is improper. You need to add your event handlers and your try catch. Okay. All right. So the goal of this game piece is to extend image view, and what we want to use the front image for the normal thing that we're going to show when the image view is drawn on the screen, and we're going to use the back image when the mouse hovers over it. And so what happens is image view is always looking to see if its image has been changed, and if it has been, it goes ahead and handles the redraw on the screen. You don't have to deal with it. You just have to override the functions that you need to be able to manipulate. And that's why that abstraction, the dynamic binding, is so important, because you need to understand that there's a lot of functions that are being called at the image view level that you don't know about. And you can actually tie into those functions and get behavior based on what's going on within that particular item. So, for instance, our application piece, there is functions that are happening down at the low level, at the base level, that we don't know anything about, and we can override those and implement them instead of the base level implementing those functions at the base scope. So it's very important that we follow the rules. And what I've done is I've extended image view. I've added a default constructor. This is going to be an error. Go ahead and put public in front of there, guys. That's going to be a problem coming up. And what I'm going to do now is talk about what is happening. For the default constructor, we just assign the default image to the image view through the super constructor. Then we can set the X and Y with a double value of 0 that we're casting. And then we're going to set the width and height. preservation ratio so that it doesn't, I'm pretty sure that that is so that it doesn't increase in size and scale up and down when you set the width and the height. And then we're just going to load up some images in FImage and BImage. By the way, guys, this is absolutely useless because of the problem I talked to you about. So this is actually should be just a string that we use instead of the actual image property. So we're going to actually make that change. We're going to call this string FImage, and we're going to say equals to okay, and then BImage is going to be a string again. And this is all because of that copyright crap. We gotta waste memory and load it just like this every time. It's stupid. Yeah, I'm gonna watch my language. Yeah, the garbage collector is going crazy every time you do this. Well, no, it's not going crazy, but it's just a waste of memory. Okay, so we're going to actually get rid of this because we don't need to have new images, and we don't need this guy either. We just want to draw something on the screen. Okay, now this is going to go away too because I was just using that as an example for our talk. So now all I'm doing is setting the image through the super constructor of the game piece that inherits from ImageView, setting the X and Y coordinate and its width and height. And then for the overloaded one, this is the one I actually use. I instantiate the image inside the image view, or set the image inside the image view with the super constructor. That I'm just hard coding, and these can go away. And I'm setting the X and Y coordinate system. So one or the other, I'm going to be pretty much using this one. Because I want to send it the X and Y location that I want it to have. Width and height will always be 50, but might as well build it that way if you want. So this is our image view class, and it has everything we need to go ahead and put it on the screen. And then what we're going to do is we're going to use some of these properties to play around with it. So let's go ahead and just do a rebuild just to see how our health. We're doing good. Our next thing is let's just look at it being drawn on the screen. That's all I care about, is it being drawn on the screen. Let's get to that point, and then we can move on to our next part. So let's go ahead and go to our code bits, and we're going to grab the imports that we're going to need. We're not going to need all these, but eventually as we go through these videos, we're going to be using the file stream. We're not going to actually use, but we're going to put this over here in our Java and just overwrite what you got in there. Just import crazy. Oh, this one right here, make sure this comes out. We don't want, that's from my other project. We don't need that. We have our own import. In fact, we need to import gpiece for this one now. So this is our start function, and we have our gpiece built. So I'm going to go ahead and import from the gpiece test package gpiece, and then let's instantiate it and show it on the screen. And for that, we can go to a code bits, and let's just grab the whole start function. And overwrite the one that's here. Okay. Oh, we don't need this. We're not, well, we could, but. Okay, so here's what I do for my game piece. I instantiate it, the image view. Then I add it to a group, and we're going to add more image views to this group. And then I add it to the scene and show the stage. So now we run it, and let's see what we got. So we got a lot of little issues here that are coming up, and let's start with the first one. Well, you know what? We actually shouldn't have all these issues, which means that I've got a project problem that I need to look into, or I don't think it's a code problem, but I'm gonna get into that and then we'll continue. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, so yeah, silly me. So remember what I was saying, we're going to have a problem finding the file because we haven't put the file in, and that's why it's not working, because I haven't put the file in the project. The files being the images. So we got to actually find where that will allow we got to put the images in our directory so that it'll find it implicitly. And that's where, this guy is dying right here because it's trying to load the file and it's not finding it. It's throwing an exception, but we're not catching any because I'm not doing things properly. Which means, okay, that's fine. But let's put the files, now I know what the error is, let's put the files where they belong. So those files, I'm going to go to a different place for them. You're going to have them available to you through your it'll be available to you along with this video. So the files that I have, I built these images just for this type of for this particular example. And what we're going to do is we're going to get into the images wherever I put them, right here and here. Okay, and now I'm going to go and I'm going to get these images. And I'm going to go to my project for the work that I'm doing now. And I'm going to put the images in a folder and see if it's my runtime folder that my NetBeans is running from. I would probably, when I was actually writing this code, well, never mind. Let's just get this working and move forward with what we're dealing with. So go ahead and copy those guys, and we're going to put them on the desktop and in our folder of our game piece folder, and let's put them with the Java files first. We don't want it with the gpiece test source files. We want it with the Java source file that represents our start, our main class. So that's going to be, well, I think it'll actually be in here. Yeah, that's it. Okay, yeah. Okay, let's try that. So let's see if this will run now. Yeah, okay, it ran. That means it found the files. It didn't die on us. However, we are not adding it to the group yet. So go ahead and just throw in those images, and we want this line of code to be back to the way it was from your code bits. So now let's go ahead and run it and get this thing showing on the screen. Woohoo! We did it! We got it showing on the screen. Okay, let's have some real fun with this though. So we really had, I mean, we can have another piece that we call the second piece. Let's call this the second piece. And we're going to use random numbers to generate it somewhere randomly on the screen. Possibly. Oh, I didn't add it here. Okay, so let's go ahead and do a second piece here. In fact, I would probably rather just do an array of these things. Okay, there's our second piece. Cool. All right, guys, that is part one. We're going to go ahead and continue on with this particular project into the next part of this video series. Thank you.